Meet Grace Ashcroft, FBI agent who stutters and drops things, being sent to investigate the semi-mysterious death of some unnamed person we never actually encounter because really there was no reason to send an FBI agent onto the scene, as we later find out that these people are dying of natural-ish causes. Listen, Grace, I know there are like 55 other agents I could send on this nothing-ass assignment, but I specifically know that your mother was murdered at this exact spot 8 years ago, so I really want you to do this. Sure, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you should, make me do that, yeah, because I need to, face my fears, I guess. That's what I'm looking for. That's what an FBI boss should do. When Grace gets there, it ends up being a trap somehow. Dr. Evil is there, and he wants to watch Grace fight a zombie for some reason, despite her being critical to the essential sinister plan, I guess.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for.
Playing pretty fast and loose with the goods there, buddy. Also, he or someone has been stalking her for 8 years and taking millions of photos of her. It seems like if they needed to abduct her, I mean, they know where she is. They have for 8 years. Could have done it any time. But okay, whatever. We got her. We grabbed her, and we're going to take her to someplace. She's the key, whatever. Okay, so now let's see. What's Leon doing? Okay, he's investigating the same thing. That's the thing that ties them together, I guess. Except they're not investigating anything. Grace never makes it to the body that she's supposed to investigate, and then Leon just goes there on a hunch, and there's this dude who's got a woman over his shoulder. He's walking directly out of the crime scene that he just came to check out. He happens to be the exact guy who was just texted to him 5 seconds earlier, and he's got his goggles on. And he's like, oh, he looks exactly like his photo, and he's right there. That's good. Okay, whatever, I can excuse a coincidence, maybe even a few coincidences to get the ball rolling. We're here for action and thrills, right? Sure, okay. So Leon chases this criminal mastermind who has somehow stayed out of the limelight and evaded capture for all the years of the entire Resident Evil franchise. He starts gatting people with his Zombo cannon and starts a Resident Evil 2 style outbreak like it's just another Tuesday to him. And maybe that is the case at this point. There are bioweapon attacks in the Resident Evil universe on a bi-weekly basis now. They probably have a GPS function for it right now, you know. Zombies ahead, rerouting. I guess it's implied Leon stops this outbreak in its tracks. I mean, clearly some of these dudes were getting munched on, but whatever. This doesn't seem to be a big deal to anyone, so let's just move on. Leon loses Dr. Evil in the chaos, but, well, actually, he owns a private clinic 5 minutes down the road. I bet we could just catch him there. And, yep, that's exactly where he is. And Grace is there, too. She gets chased by a very scary monster. This part is actually awesome. I love that part. Leon shows up. Dr. Evil does something off-screen to instantly turn everyone in the clinic into zombies. Sure, why not? The staff seems pretty bewildered by all this. They're like, I never thought Dr. Evil would turn me into a zombie. For all these years, I just thought he was very tall and pale and, not a zombie guy, not a zombie doctor. Then there's this iconic scene. Leon, stuff like this has happened to you before. What is that guy holding? Why is it that they think that having this chainsaw out of frame is enough to justify the characters not noticing it? Wait, why do they have a chainsaw, ready to go in the lobby of... You know what? No one cares. I want my games to have chainsaws in them. I don't care about this one. We're good. Leon fights his way up to where Grace is, then comes face to face with Dr. Evil, who proves he's so powerful that he could really have just killed Leon at any time. And once again, these theatrics and killing all his colleagues and so on are very, very unnecessary. Leon is knocked out and kept alive for some reason. I think it's a little saucy. Grace begins her quest to find 3 objects to fit into a door so she can escape, as you do in the Resident Evil franchise, and along the way, she encounters a mysterious blind girl hidden behind an unlocked wooden door, who is clearly the subject of some bizarre experiment. The staff seemed pretty concerned with the safety of Leon. Do they not know about the child trafficking going on next to the save room? Okay, sure, whatever. Very spooky mystery. There's also an empty cell next to hers. I hope this is one of those cool mysteries with a satisfying reveal and not one of those ones that is really cool in the beginning but really dumb once you know what's actually happening. Grace continues on her cool adventure, bumps into Dr. Evil again, who says some cryptic shit, has a few more run-ins with scary monsters, the prisoner girl gets taken by the main antagonist monster, and then we switch back to Leon. Dr. Evil then says some evil cryptic shit to him too, then talks about his illness and how he might find answers and the cure, but this is never brought up again. Leon breaks free. Dr. Evil is scared of Leon now for some reason, and now Leon is ready to make his escape, but not before checking in on Dr. Evil's office, where he discovers that the creeping illness on his body, which is the same illness that was killing the people in the intro, is in fact a creeping illness on his body, which is the same illness that was killing people in the intro. This is distressing for some reason. Grace saves the girl, gets the last object to open the door. They get out, fight. Big bad monster comes back. Leon and Grace kill it dead, but then the girl from the basement suddenly turns into a monster far too creepy to get killed in 5 seconds. Geez, I feel bad for the people who worked on this asset. I mean, I guess it was going to be a boss, but they canned it at some point or something. Grace is understandably distraught that the person she fought so hard to save is dead, and also one of the freakiest monsters in the game. This is a rare W for the Resident Evil emotional storytelling, a pretty bold move that really nails in the hopelessness of Grace's situation. Don't worry though, this emotional beat is completely invalidated and undermined later. Speaking of invalidation, Grace is so upset by all of this that she runs off in a random direction. Leon is just like, yeah, I didn't want to save you anyway, peace. Wait, is that the chick from the computer? Could she be involved with this somehow?
Grace.
I mean, yeah, I see her coughing, but she's not exactly booking it. Grace then decides to join her captors without much thought. They were hanging out 40 feet from where you fought the monsters just a minute ago, but they knew that you'd be here and chillin' because they both had copies of the script, I guess. Oh yeah, and Wesker Jr. is here. We don't really know what his deal is, and we never will. His name is Zeno. What has he been doing for the last 28 years? We don't know. Is he a clone of Wesker? Where does he get his powers? What is this mysterious organization he works for? Whatever, don't worry about it too much. He gets his head cut off in the cutscene later. Rather than go up the stairs to find Grace and confront the big bads, Leon apparently retraces his steps back to the entrance of the private clinic and gets his Porsche, where he just assumes that Elpis, he has no idea what that is either. Grace, Ashcroft, Dr. Evil, all this shit, somehow it all leads to Raccoon City. He doesn't know what he's investigating anymore, but we're driving the Porsche to Raccoon City. Sherry, shut up. Leon fights the spider for some reason. Then he needs 3 keys to open the door, as is tradition. Fight. Elpis. Okay, we're ready to move on. Dr. Evil reemerges and decides the best way to defeat Leon is to challenge him to a rocket launcher motorcycle jousting duel with dogs. This part is perfect. No notes. Hey, Leon, are you sure if you ramp off this building, there's actually going to be a place for you to land? Oh, okay, of course there was. That was really cool. Good job, Leon. Leon has to take a quick detour through the police station because of course he does. It's awesome. He has some flashbacks and he starts getting kind of whiny for some reason. He's like, I was too weak to make a difference back then. I should have prevented the entire events of the franchise. Like, chill out, dude. You were 21. It was your first day on the job. Like, I thought you made peace with this. There was only like a couple years later, you were best friends with the president. You were like making jokes and killing monsters. Like, hey, you're small time, Sadler, What's with this like kind of post-onset PTSD? I don't know, man. Mental health is serious. Okay, more stuff implying Grace is some kind of chosen one or special child gets showed to us. Mr. X comes back. We kill him in like 5 seconds, barely an inconvenience. Would have been cooler if he chased you through the city or something, but I don't know, nobody asked me. We make it through the lab, which apparently they nuked. Like, that was the whole purpose of the nuke from Resident Evil 3, actually, but nobody thought to check and make sure that Elpis was destroyed for 28 years, and the power is still on and stuff. Okay, sure, whatever. So it all comes down to this, a secret mystery weapon made by the original founder of Umbrella, Oswald Spencer. Something he managed to hide from everyone, even the other staff at this facility. The big bads have absolutely no idea what this thing does, and yet they believe Grace is the key to all of it somehow, but it's never really established why they think that. And then the big reveal here is they just show Elpis, and the key, the secret is, the thing they've been questing for all this time is like, we don't know the password. We don't know what to put in. We don't know what the buttons, we want to try like 1, 2, 3 or fudge or viruses. But if we get it wrong, then it will delete Elpis. Like, why did they abduct her? All they had to do was ask her what the password is, and she doesn't know, and it's not in her genetics. Why were they making clones of her? Why did we do any of this? She doesn't physically need to be here to put the password in. Why would the clones know the password? They knew where she was the whole time. Also, why did the clones need to have like monster DNA in them or whatever, you know? Like, because it's revealed that Grace is just a normal girl. She's like an adopted daughter or something. She doesn't have any superpowers or virus powers. Then the bad guys are like, yeah, if you get the password wrong, the ultimate weapon is destroyed, so you better not fuck this one up, Grace. If you type in dicks, we will know. What if the password really is like dicks or something? We're trusting you, Grace. We're trusting you to put the right password in. We're just gonna let our entire plan hinge on you pulling some bullshit out of your ass right here, right now. But that's literally what happens. That's the ending. You can choose for Grace to write dicks or to just guess. She just guesses. She watches a home video that you watched 5 minutes ago, a video that anybody could have watched at any time. Okay, so maybe like the floppy disk was hidden at the very beginning and she's been holding on to it or whatever. But she's had it on her person. She's been tied up. They could have just checked for it. Was he not paying attention at all when Grace was in the hotel? Like, was that just random? He really ambushed her there for no reason. Why didn't you just ask for the fucking password? Grace watches this 2-minute video on the fucking ColecoVision, and it's an interview with the creator of the bioweapon shit, and he seems kind of regretful, but it's like cryptic, and it's not really definitive, like what he was thinking. He's like, okay, I'll make a super cure, fail-safe. Let's just ignore the sci-fi bullshit on how I could preemptively create a virus cure to stuff that like wouldn't exist until like multiple iterations of the game, like 20 years after my death. But I'll hide it in a fancy lab 2 miles away from my other one, and I'll lock it behind a password that only I know, and I won't share with anyone, and I'll only let people save themselves from a bioweapon apocalypse if they can guess the thing that I want the most, and that thing is hope. I don't really come out and say that, but that's what it is. The password is hope, and Grace intuits that. The bad guys are rightfully like, what the fuck just happened? This guy gets his head cut off. This guy turns into a giant monster. We fight him. He's not very hard to beat. The end. Oh, and the little girl from the beginning is alive now.
Didn't hit any of her vitals.
They didn't shoot her vitals. Yeah, you did, dude. You did. I mean, that's her heart on the outside of her body. I don't know, like, it's how we kill most of the monsters in this world. And then she's alive, and she's fine. No one in Resident Evil history has ever been unmutated, but, you know, whatever. She's in there like Attack on Titan. Ultimately, this game is just some big filler episode where not really anything happens, okay? So maybe they have some super cure for the T-virus, but there's still like 5 other super bioweapons out there. There's the Plagas, the Ouroboros, the Parasites, there's the Mold from 7 and 8. Whatever, game is dumb as hell. Do better, Capcom.